Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Armies, are you ready for this? 3 days after the unforgettable Foxborough Day 2 concert, one question has been getting louder and louder across the fandom. Where did Jimin and Jungkook go? After giving Armies an emotional and unforgettable night at Gillette Stadium, Jimin and Jungkook suddenly became much harder to spot. There were no major public appearances, no obvious airport moments, and very little publicly confirmed information about where they went next. Naturally, fans started asking the same question everywhere. What happened after Foxborough Day 2? Were Jimin and Jungkook still in the Boston area? Did they leave Massachusetts immediately after the concert? Were they already preparing for their next schedules? Or could they simply be taking some much-needed private time after an incredibly demanding stretch of performances? These questions quickly became a major topic among fans who were still talking about everything that happened during Foxborough Day 2. Today, we're taking a closer look at what happened after Foxborough Day 2, why fans became curious about Jimin and Jungkook's whereabouts, what can actually be confirmed, and why the latest discussions may give Armies a better understanding of what happened after that unforgettable night. So stay until the end, because some of the smallest details may actually be the most interesting part of this story. Foxborough Day 2 was already an emotional night for BTS fans. After the incredible performances, powerful emotions, interactions, and unforgettable moments on stage, Armies naturally expected more updates from the members afterward. Concert days usually generate a huge amount of content. Fans share photos and videos from the venue, members may post messages, and airport sightings can sometimes give fans an idea of where artists are traveling next. But this time, something felt different. The excitement surrounding Jimin and Jungkook didn't disappear after the concert. Instead, it turned into a mystery. As the hours passed and became a full day, fans began noticing that there wasn't a clear public trail showing exactly where the two members had gone. Then another day passed, followed by another. Suddenly, 3 days had gone by since Foxborough Day 2, and the lack of public updates made fans even more curious. Social media discussions began filling with questions about Jimin and Jungkook's post-concert movements. Some fans wondered whether they had already left Boston. Others believed they might still be somewhere in the area. Many fans also pointed out that the members could simply be enjoying private downtime away from cameras. And honestly, that last possibility is important. Just because fans don't see an idol publicly doesn't mean something unusual has happened. Jimin and Jungkook are global superstars with demanding schedules. After major concerts, rest, private travel, and time away from cameras are completely normal possibilities. That's why it's important to separate confirmed information from fan speculation. 3 days after Foxborough Day 2, there was no clear official public confirmation that established the members' exact private whereabouts. The lack of information created curiosity, but it should not automatically be interpreted as evidence that something dramatic happened. The timing was also interesting. Foxborough Day 2 had generated enormous attention online. Fans were still discussing their favorite performances, moments, and interactions when the public updates suddenly became much quieter. One moment, Jimin and Jungkook were standing in front of thousands of armies under the stadium lights. Then, almost immediately, the public spotlight became much quieter. That contrast naturally made people curious. Where did they go? What were they doing? Were they still in Massachusetts? Had they already traveled somewhere else? Or were they simply taking time for themselves? This is exactly why the phrase, "Where did Jikook go?" began appearing in fan discussions. However, there is an important distinction between being less visible and actually disappearing. Jimin and Jungkook haven't necessarily disappeared. They have simply become much less visible to the public. The modern BTS fandom is incredibly observant. Armies can recognize airports, hotel entrances, vehicles, clothing details, staff movements, and even small changes in schedules. Sometimes a single photograph can lead fans to reconstruct a possible travel timeline. But this level of attention also means rumors can spread incredibly quickly. A blurry photograph can become a supposed confirmed sighting. A fan theory can become a headline. A possibility can suddenly be presented as if it were a fact. That's why every discussion about Jimin and Jungkook's whereabouts should be approached carefully. Could they still be in the United States? It's possible. Could they have traveled to another city? That's also possible. Could they simply be resting somewhere privately? Absolutely. But without direct confirmation from Jimin, Jungkook, or their official representatives, nobody outside their team can responsibly claim an exact private location. And perhaps that's actually a good thing. After weeks of performances, travel, rehearsals, media attention, and constant public observation, having some privacy may be exactly what they need. Their schedules can involve long flights, different time zones, rehearsals, sound checks, full stadium performances, meetings, interviews, and constant travel. For fans, a concert may last only a few hours, but for the artists, everything surrounding that concert can consume an entire day. So after Foxborough Day 2, being away from public view for several days isn't necessarily mysterious at all. It may simply mean that Jimin and Jungkook are resting, traveling privately, or preparing for their next schedules. There is another reason fans remain so curious. Jimin and Jungkook have been receiving enormous attention throughout this period, especially whenever they appear together or are seen around the same events. Even the smallest interaction can generate thousands of posts within minutes. A glance, a smile, a casual conversation, a backstage moment, or a simple gesture can become one of the most memorable parts of a concert for Jikook fans. So naturally, when both members become less visible after such a major performance, fans notice immediately. Instead of the fandom simply moving on from Foxborough, conversations continued. People revisited concert clips, analyzed photographs, discussed possible travel plans, searched for updates, and asked the same question again and again. Where are Jimin and Jungkook now? But perhaps the most interesting part of this entire situation is that the lack of information itself became part of the story. In today's social media environment, celebrities are constantly visible through Instagram, Weverse, X, fan photographs, airport videos, and news reports. Everyday moments can become public within seconds. That's why when a superstar like Jungkook or Jimin isn't publicly seen for several days, fans naturally notice. However, silence doesn't necessarily mean something dramatic. Sometimes silence simply means there is nothing public to report. And that distinction is extremely important. For Jikook fans, the most exciting part of this mystery may not actually be discovering a secret location. Instead, it may be discovering what comes next. After Foxborough, the bigger question becomes, what is waiting on the other side of this quiet period? Could there be another schedule? Another performance? A new appearance? A personal update? Or perhaps simply a return to social media when Jimin and Jungkook are ready? Whatever comes next, ARMYs will almost certainly notice. If Jimin or Jungkook posts even a small update, the fandom could react within minutes. That's the power of BTS's global fanbase. One photo can become a worldwide discussion. One sentence can create thousands of reactions. One unexpected appearance can completely change the conversation. For now, however, there is no responsible reason to assume that anything negative has happened. There is no need to turn a few quiet days into a dramatic disappearance. The most reasonable interpretation is simply that Jimin and Jungkook have been away from the public eye while their schedules and personal time continue behind the scenes. And maybe that's exactly what they deserve. After Foxborough Day 2, they gave ARMYs another unforgettable concert experience. They stood on stage, performed for thousands of fans, connected with ARMYs, and created memories that will undoubtedly be replayed countless times. Now, if they are taking some quiet time away from the spotlight, perhaps fans can give them that space while continuing to enjoy everything they shared during the concert. Because sometimes, the most meaningful moments aren't the ones we see afterward. They're the moments that already happened. Foxborough Day 2 gave fans those memories, and the mystery surrounding what happened afterwards simply added another chapter to the story. So, 3 days later, where exactly are Jimin and Jungkook? The honest answer is that their precise private whereabouts should not be claimed unless officially confirmed. The available public information does not provide enough evidence to state an exact location with certainty. However, the situation appears much less dramatic than the word disappeared might suggest. They may simply be keeping a low profile, resting, traveling privately, or preparing for their next schedules. Considering everything they've been doing, any of these possibilities would make sense. What we do know is that armies are still watching, still waiting, and still wondering what Jimin and Jungkook will reveal next. Maybe the next update will come from Weverse. Maybe it will appear on Instagram. Maybe another official schedule will suddenly be announced. Or maybe one unexpected photo will answer everything. And when that happens, you already know the BTS fandom will be ready. So, ARMYs, what do you think happened after Foxborough Day 2? Do you think Jimin and Jungkook are still somewhere in the United States? Do you think they traveled privately to their next destination? Or do you think they're simply taking some well-deserved time away from the spotlight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And remember, don't treat unverified fan sightings, social media theories, or rumors as confirmed information. The most reliable updates will always come directly from the BTS members, their official channels, or their management. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain. Foxborough may be over, but the story surrounding Jimin and Jungkook is definitely not. And there you have it, ARMYs. 3 days after the emotional Foxborough Day 2, Jimin and Jungkook have once again left fans with more questions than answers. But maybe their quietness isn't something we should worry about. Maybe it's simply a sign that they're taking a break, preparing for what's next, or enjoying a little privacy away from the cameras. After everything they've given ARMYs, they deserve that time. Still, the moment either Jimin or Jungkook appears again, you can be sure the entire fandom will be watching. So if you don't want to miss the next update about Jimin, Jungkook, BTS, and everything happening after Foxborough, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join us for the next story. And tell us in the comments, where do you think Jimin and Jungkook are right now? Until the next update, take care, stay positive, and keep supporting BTS. Foxborough ARMY.